Go.
Okay, okay. Well, we're on. Okay, we're on. Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome back to Educational Platform.
Now, for the lessons we have for you today, we're going to be reading you a verse which is taken from the verse of the day, which is taken from Psalms 30, verse 5. And it states that his anger lasts for a
But then his kindness brings life. The the night may be filled with tears, but in the morning we can sing of our joy.
the word of the Lord. Okay, our first lesson is about 3D animation. Now, what is 3D animation? 3D animation is the process of creating moving three-dimensional images
Through a digital context, these visuals are made using 3D software.
The types of 3D animation sites are shown, which are Mizamo, Blender, The Make Human, Cinema 4D, K-3D, and SketchUp. And also, if you want to create animated shapes, you can also go on Onshape or Fusion 360. Also for engineering or design. Now, our next lesson is about the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Now, the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution is search and seizure. Okay, the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government.
And their property and their homes.
It's also it's given that they have authority to do so under the legal status of the government. Now, next are traffic signals. Traffic signals are the kinds of signals that were used while you're on the road. For many drivers, they should be aware of all the traffic signals around them. Such as the types of traffic signals are the types of traffic signals such as the traffic lights. Red means stop, green means go, and yellow means slow down with caution. There are also some pedestrian signals and also some special flashing signals. And there are also some speed limit signals. Now, our next lesson is about why is it important not to drink alcohol. Now, the reason why we can't drink alcohol it's because it can cause a problem inside your body.
Many people drink alcohol because they feel stressed, but it's important not to drink it because drinking too much can cause your liver to not function properly.
In which the functions of the liver, as it's shown, the functions of the liver, it converts food into energy and breaks it down. The liver also filters all the blood in the body and breaks down poisonous substances such as alcohol and drugs. So it's best not to work your liver too much because if you keep on drinking while the liver is working too hard, it won't be able to break down all the poisonous substances. So it's very important not to drink it. And also, if you drink once, it'll take 2 hours for your liver to break down two poisonous substances. And also, the liver produces bile and a fluid that helps digest fats and carry away waste. And also, the liver regulates blood clotting. And also, the liver controls levels of fat, amino acids, and glucose in the blood level. And also, the liver produces proteins that other parts of the body need. Now, next is drugs, which they are on the same slide, which is on the next slide. Drugs
are kinds of substances that can sometimes be harmful to some/many people.
Marijuana is the most common drug because it's illegal in many countries because of the damage it can cause inside your body. It can also it can lead to a lot of side effects. Okay, next is a story about the two finalists who are competing
Tonight,
in
a
a
big
chef
moment for a
competition
couple of
to find out
extraordinary
who's the junior
chefs.
chef.
There were originally 24, but tonight, a big moment for a couple of extraordinary chefs. There were originally 24, but after unimaginable cooking. Tonight, a big moment for a couple of extraordinary chefs. There were originally 24, but after unimaginable cooking challenges, devastating eliminations, and, yes, some tears, the field is down to 2. We're talking about the reality cooking show Master Chef Junior. These contestants were ages 8 to 13. Some stood on crates to reach their cooking stations. The two finalists, 12-year-old Dara Yu and 13-year-old Alexander Weiss. We spoke to them along with one of the celebrity judges, Chef Joe Bastianic. Dara Yu says when she's not on TV, it's her friends who are doing the tasting. Dara Yu: I bake a lot for my friends, and I'm actually in a class at my school. So every week we get a theme, and then we have to make a dish around that theme. And then if I have extra, I'll give them out to all my friends. Green: How do your friends and fellow students deal with being in a cooking class with you? What is that dynamic like? Dara: Well, it's kind of funny. I was actually just on a camping trip and every meal would be like, is this good enough for you? Green: Does this measure up to what you do, Dara? Dara: Yeah. Is this like Dara worthy? Ha ha ha. Dara: I was just like, I can't really answer that because the chefs are standing right there. Green: Alexander, let me ask you about the types of pressure on this show. I mean, you're 13. You're in 8th grade. A lot of people criticize parents, saying they put way too much pressure on kids in middle school and high school. Tell me if you think this kind of competitive spirit is a good thing for someone your age. Alexander Weiss: You know, it's important to have some competitive spirit in your life, because that's what it's going to be like in the real world. And the restaurant service, that was a really different experience. And Green: We should say all of you got in the kitchen and you actually served a meal at a restaurant. Dara: Yeah. Alexander: Yeah, I mean, it was really scary. Dara: Yeah, it was. Alexander: It's not an easy thing to do. There's something that I kind of like through the restaurant service. When we went out there and saw the diners' reactions, and, their comments on our food. Something's really special about that you don't get from every other career in life. Joe Bastianich: That's amazing, Alexander. You have the 2 fundamental factors in being a professional chef. You are a masochist who needs approval. Laughter. Green: Well, let me ask all of you. I read one piece describing the show, and it talked about the grace and the composure the kids showed when they did lose. And it was almost, in a way, more graceful and handled better than adults would show. When we had lost something. I mean, did you feel that way? That you were setting an example maybe not just for other youngsters like yourselves, but also for us, adults? Dara: I definitely think that it's like we're setting an example to adults, showing them that one door closes and another one will open. And that's kind of how it is in the MasterChef kitchen. But all the kids who have gone home, they've already shown what they have. And that's going to get them ahead in life. Alexander: Yeah. And to add on to Dara, we're always with each other throughout this whole process. I mean, yes, of course. People go home every other day. And it's really disappointing to see our friends go home. But you know, in-law, we really bonded together because we were kind of trapped in a hotel room for our lives. Green. It's kind of an odd kind of summer camp, but it sounds like these are going to be lasting friendships. Alexander. Yeah. Dara. Yes. Definitely. I've made family from this, and it was a summer camp because the food wasn't that good. Laughter. Green. The food wasn't that good. Dara. Our caterers at the hotel. Green. I think you guys just have high standards. Bastianich. Yeah, we've got to keep them hungry. We don't feed them that well. Laughter. Green. Well, I want to hear about the food challenge that got you two into the final round. Each of you were given a different part of a chicken to make a restaurant, quality meal. And Alexander, you were given the chicken liver. Alexander. I hadn't eaten chicken livers before that. And from watching cooking shows, I kind of got an idea of what I was going to do. And as I was cooking it and everything was starting to come together, I tasted it. And after being so scared for so long of chicken livers, I realized that, it tastes really good. Green. Tell me about the dish that you made. Alexander. It was a chicken liver pate. It's like an Italian Tuscan style dish. And I made a homemade cherry kind of marmalade to go with it, for some sweetness on a garlic crostini with a reduced balsamic glaze. Bastianich. It was great. I can still taste it now. Laughter. Green. In comparison, Dara. I guess you got chicken wings to cook. Dara. Yep. Green. Tell me about the dish you ended up making. Dara. Well, I made a soy ginger glazed wing with pickled cucumbers, carrots, and radishes. For my dish, I wanted to kind of go in a different direction, and the pickled vegetables, actually. That's a family recipe. Green. Dara. And I thought that would just go really well with like an Asian-style wing. Green. It worked. Dara. Yeah. It worked. Green. Where's the family recipe come from? Dara. My grandma, actually. She has all these old cookbooks from her mom and her sisters of handwritten recipes. Green. Wow. Dara. Just binders of them. I see where I get my love of cooking. Green. She is just 12 years old. That's Dara Yu, and also 13. Year-old Alexander Weiss. They're the two finalists remaining on MasterChef Junior. The winner will be revealed tonight.
Okay, our next story is about, it's going to be based on an informational text called
Social media, what's not to like? Informational.
Social media, what's not to like?
By Allison Pierce Stevens. Social media allows users to create online communities for sharing ideas, personal messages, and other content. Can social media usage be positive for today's teens? Or should they steer clear of it? Teens sneak a peek at the internet every chance they get. In fact, the average U.S. teenager spends almost 9 hours a day on digital devices. Much of that time is on social media, such as Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. The sites have become important places for students to interact. But sometimes, these connections lead to disconnections, depending on whether people notice your posts and how positively they respond. Your online interactions may be quite positive, or not. Social media can make some teens feel depressed and isolated. They can feel cut out of social interactions. They may feel judged. In fact, people who visit social media sites to feel connected to friends may end up caught in online drama or even cyberbullying. But being glued to your phone or engrossed in a Snapchat story isn't all bad. Social media provides an important place for people to connect. The feedback that users get from their peers can boost self, a team, and social media can even boost relationships among family members. A filtered view. The average teen has about 300 online friends. When people post to their social media account, they're speaking to that large audience. even if their posts aren't publicly available. That same audience can see the responses other people provide through comments or likes. Those likes and comments influence the kinds of posts teens put up and leave up. A 2015 study by researchers at Pennsylvania State University in University Park found that teens were more likely than adults to remove Instagram posts within 12 hours of posting. They took down posts that had few likes or comments. This suggests that teens try to make themselves look good by only keeping up popular posts. Peer feedback plays a big role in how teens view themselves and each other. Note Jacqueline Nisi and Mitchell Breinstein. These psychologists at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill study how teens use social media. More than adults do, teens present idealized versions of themselves online, the researchers find. Teens may only share photos that show them having fun with friends, for example. This filtered view of their lives makes others believe all is well, even when it's not. All teens compare themselves to others. That's an important part of figuring out who you are as you grow up. But social media makes this experience more extreme. You can actually measure how popular a person or a photo is, for example. And those carefully crafted profiles can make it feel like everyone else is living a better life than you are. Students' use of social media may form distorted perceptions of their peers, Nisi says. Teens compare their own messy lives to the highlight reels that their peers present. This can make life feel unfair. Such comparisons can be a problem, especially for unpopular people. In a 2015 study of 8th and 9th graders, Nisi and Breinstein found that many teens who used social media experienced symptoms of depression. That was particularly true for those who were unpopular. Nisi speculates that unpopular teens may be more likely than popular kids to make upward comparisons. Those are comparisons with someone who seems better in some way, more popular, for example, or wealthier. Those findings fit with previous studies that found unpopular teens get less positive feedback on their posts. That may happen because they simply have fewer real-life friends, and therefore fewer online connections. Or it may have to do with the types of things those teens post. Other researchers have found that unpopular teens write more negative posts than their peers. These people are more likely to post about unhappy events, such as having a phone stolen, than happy ones. Together, these factors can lead to low self-esteem and symptoms of depression. A place to connect. Social media sites are important places to socialize. Observe Alice Marwick and Dana Boyd. Marwick is a culture and communications researcher at Fordham University in New York City. Boyd is a social media researcher at Microsoft Research, also in New York. The two interviewed hundreds of teens from across the United States. Since teens spend so much of each day connecting online, many adults worry that kids no longer know how to communicate in person. In fact, Boyd and Marwick found the opposite was true. Teens want to hang out together, Boyd says. Social networks let them do that, even when their lives are too busy or too restricted, to meet up in person. Even teens who have the time and freedom to hang out with their friends may have a hard time finding places to do so. Teens used to head to malls, movie theaters, or parks. But many of these places discourage kids from hanging out. Changes like these make it much harder for teens to keep up with each other's lives. Social media can help to fill that gap. But the researchers add, there are important differences between hanging out on social media and spending time together in person. Unlike a face-to-face conversation, online interactions can stick around. Once you post something, it's out there for the long term. Even posts you delete aren't always gone for good. Think you're in the clear with Snapchat, where every post disappears after 10 seconds. Not necessarily. Those temporary posts may stick around if someone takes a screenshot before they vanish. Depending on someone's privacy settings, certain social media posts can be visible to anyone who scrolls or clicks around enough. Sites such as Facebook are also searchable. Some users may be able to easily share a post you make, spreading it beyond your control. And teens and adults who connect with people from different areas of their lives might run into awkward moments. Like when a friend leaves a joking comment on your post that your grandmother doesn't find funny at all. Online drama. Those features can lead to what teens might call drama. Marwick and Boyd define drama as conflict between people that is performed in front of an audience. Social media seems to turn up the drama. That's because others can watch the performance simply by hopping online, and they can encourage that drama by liking particular posts or comments. Online drama and the attention it attracts can be hurtful. But the teens that Boyd and Marwick interviewed usually did not call these interactions bullying. Drama is a word that teens use to encompass a lot of different behaviors, Marwick says. Some of these behaviors might be what adults call bullying, but others are pranks, jokes, entertainment. Bullying, she notes, takes place over a long time and involves one teen exerting power over another. Calling these behaviors drama is a way for teens to avoid the language of bullying, she notes. Bullying creates victims and perpetrators. Teens don't want to be seen as either. Using the term drama removes those roles. It allows them to save face even when drama is hurtful, Marwick says. Such hurtful interactions can lead to depression and long-term mental health problems. Teens use the word drama to minimize serious behavior by their peers. So it's important for both adults and other teens to listen when teens talk about drama. Marwick says, keeping it in the family. Social media is not just for teens, of course. People of all ages interact on Facebook, Snapchat, and more. Indeed, many teens friend family members, including their parents, notes Sarah Coyne. She is a social scientist at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. Such online relationships can actually improve family dynamics at home, she observes. In one 2013 study, Coyne and her colleagues interviewed families with at least one 12 to 17-year-old. Interviewers asked about each family member's social media use. They asked how often family members communicated with each other on these sites and how connected each felt to the others. They also probed other behaviors. For instance, how likely were the participants to lie or cheat? Did they try to hurt people with whom they were angry? And how likely they were to make kind gestures online toward family members. About half of these teens connected with their parents on social media, it turns out. Most didn't do so every day, but any social media interaction made teens and parents feel more connected. This may be because families could respond to posts with likes or words of encouragement, Coyne says. Or perhaps social media gave parents a more in-depth look at their children's lives. That helped parents better understand their kids and what they were going through. This sense of connection might have other benefits too. Teens who connected with their parents online were more likely to help out family members. They were less likely to lash out at them when angry. And kids were less likely to feel depressed or to attempt to lie, cheat, or steal. The relationship between online connections and better behavior is a correlation, Coyne points out. That means she doesn't know what causes what. It's possible that friending their parents makes teens behave better. Or perhaps teens that choose to friend their parents are already better behave. Using social media can have real benefits, Prinstein says. It lets us connect with new friends and stay in touch with old ones. Both of these activities can make other people like us more, he says. And that has been shown to have long-term benefits for our happiness and success. Unfortunately, many people tend to get caught up in other aspects of social media. They focus on how many likes or shares they have, or how many people see their posts, Prinstein says. We use these numbers to measure our status. Research shows that this kind of popularity leads to negative long-term outcomes, he says. Studies that measure changes in behavior over time suggest that people who are too focused on these measures of popularity can begin to drink or use drugs. They can become more aggressive, and they're unhappier in their relationships, he says. It's easy to get dragged into the drama and other negative aspects of social media. But between strengthening family ties, boosting self-esteem and maintaining friendships, There's a lot to like about these online interactions.
Oh.
Mike, please. Just turn the mic on. Just turn the mic. Just turn on the mic.
The mic is on.
Okay. That was a really good informational text about social media. Social media can affect all of us. Now, before we go, also make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, and make sure to like, comment, and share on Facebook. And you can also connect with us on Twitter at EP Information, and also you can go to Instagram at our username at Education Platform 1, and also click the What's Up button on Facebook if you ever need to have more information. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.